What can you do with a cardboard box that contained your latest green purchase? If the box contained Horticulchar potting mix, then it's probably not taped at all, and you have a perfectly good 12 by 6 by 6 box that you can just reuse as a packing box. Another way to use it is to just flatten it. Now you can take it to your local recycler and put it back into the cardboard stream. But you might be surprised at how tenuous the economic argument for recycling cardboard is. Although the price paid for recycled cardboard bounces around a lot, it hasn't changed much since 1986, unless you adjust for inflation, in which case it hasn't seen its 1986 high since 1995, and its value has sometimes dropped to as low as 15% of its value in 1986. That makes it a lot harder to sustain a recycling program with cardboard sales. So don't feel bad about finding alternative uses for your cardboard. You might even help lift the price of cardboard for recyclers. People often use layers of cardboard covered with mulch to block weeds in their gardens. Here are some other things you could do with it. You could also use the entire box as a temporary raised bed. You just put the entire box into a maybe larger raised bed, fill it with potting material, and plant right into it. You might do this if you thought you were going to be getting more material for the rest of the raised bed soon, but didn't have it ready at the time you wanted to plant. One classic garden pest is the cutworm. Cutworms are caterpillars that crawl on the ground and wrap around the stem of a young plant and chew through it, cutting it off. You can use cardboard to make collars to put around the base of a plant. If you make a cardboard collar out of 2 pieces, it's easy to remove later, no matter how big the plant gets. So you put 2 slices on one side of each piece of cardboard, lock them together like this, and the plant stem can sit in between. Bury it a little bit in the soil, and it'll protect it from the larvae of this moth. You can also make a collar with a single piece by making cuts on opposite sides, folding it together, and instead of making a fish shape, tuck in the 2 ends to create a circle. It's a little bit harder to remove from the stem. In the southern United States, we have an insect ally called a black soldier fly. I don't know why you wouldn't want these in your compost piles. So to encourage them, it's handy to give them a way to lay their eggs safely above the compost pile so their larvae can crawl into it. To do that, people often recommend using a sheet of cardboard, but how do you suspend the sheet of cardboard above the compost pile so that the worms don't get it? Make a cardboard coil, drill a hole in it, push a stick through it, and you wind up with this nursery on a stick. You can take the little nursery and stick it in the top of your compost pile. When you want to add compost, simply pull it up, throw the compost on, and stick it back. Worms and black soldier flies both love coffee grounds, but black soldier flies will eat a lot of different things that worms ignore, like meat and fat. You can see they look a little like wasps, but they're really completely harmless. Here's one more thing you can do with your cardboard. You can make a greenhouse heater. You'll need some other things like a metal pot or steel can, some sort of fuel like wax or canola oil. Coil the cardboard into the steel can, pour your liquid fuel onto it, light it, move it to a bucket of sand with a metal hoop to catch soot and heat, and cover it with something solid when you're ready to stop the fire. The metal band conducts heat into the sand, which then radiates that heat back into the greenhouse even after the fire goes out. Be aware of the risks of carbon monoxide poisoning, suffocation from carbon dioxide, and fire if you're using this device. Cardboard boxes are cheap and plentiful. I hope you can find good ways to use them in your garden. Please share other ideas for using cardboard boxes in the comments. Thanks for listening.